Facebook. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. How are you all doing? I am jumping on Instagram Live. So hello. I just want to make sure we're not burning dinner. Give me 1 second. Bless you, Marley.
Bless you.
Oh, that didn't work out. Come here, Marley. All right, we're on here on both screens. We're going to pretend that we, you guys just saw Nancy Finger. Yeah, that was mine. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. Our setup is pretty awesome. What does that say? The Alfaro parents, thank you for joining. Evelyn, how are you? Stephanie, how are you? I'm trying to get Kathy's face. My healing journey. Oh, yeah, really bad breath. I'm sorry, Kathy. Mommy Creative, hello. Denise Hernandez Photography, yay. She actually did our photography for a worthy gathering last year. So
beautiful pictures.
Yep, high five to you. Let's see, who else is on here? So hello, everybody. Welcome to Wealthy Wednesdays. I don't know why we look a little yellow. I have no idea what's going on. But for those that is your first time, Queen B604, I'm so excited to see you. Come over here, Marty. Get over here. Come right here. Marley loves being around me when I am on Wealthy Wednesday. So you'll probably hear him coughing. He just wants my attention. So welcome to Wealthy Wednesday, guys. My name's Eva Macias, and this is Kathy Hernandez.
Hi.
And I'm going to share a little bit about a few things and the reason why we did this. Come here. And for those that it's your first time, Marley, come here. Come, sit. If this is your first time on Wealthy Wednesday, please let me know. Hey, honey. Hey, thank you for joining, my love. So if you're on Facebook, please post a comment because I can't see anything. So please post a comment. And if you're on Instagram, please post your favorite emoji. I want to know which one's your favorite emoji. But I also want to know if it's your first time with us, because if it is, we want to welcome you. And we also want to, first time, woo. Prayer. I love it. Thank you. Hopefully it's not your last. And for those that are returning, actually put 3 favorites. That light just get really bright.
Yeah.
Wow, that was so crazy. 3 favorite emojis, actually. So it was like, let there be light. Honey, if you're controlling that, you're freaking me out, by the way.
Very possible.
That was such a fake smile. Anyway, so yes, if it's your first time, let us know it's your first time. If, hi, niece, La Guarita's my niece. If you've been on here before, thank you so much. I want you guys to put your 3 favorite emojis. And I just want to say thank you for all of you being here. I know it's 7 o'clock. We've been doing this Wealthy Wednesday thing for quite some time already, and we're just blessed and grateful. And it all started from me wanting to help not just one person, but as many people as I possibly can. And I got to thank Facebook and social media for all of those amazing platforms that allow us to. Okay, it was Remo. Whew, thank you, babe. He's like helping me out with the lighting. Thanks, babe. See, teamwork. Woo, woo. So yes, for those that don't happen to know me and it's your first time, my name's Eva Macias. I'm actually the author of A Latina's Guide to Money and also the founder of the Financial Bootcamp that you guys have probably seen on my social media. And the reason why I actually wanted to feature success stories, last Wednesday you guys heard who happens to be my best friend. And today I want you guys to hear Kathy Hernandez success story. Why? Because everybody has a different why in attending the financial bootcamp, and everybody has a different result even after the bootcamp. Because yes, that's great. You're on a high for the first few weeks, right? You're like, okay, I got this. And then when like life happens, you're like, oh shoot, what did I? It's really important for you all to understand that different people have different success stories, right? As my best friend shared, one of her biggest things is now to buy a home. And it was to pay off debt and buy a house. And now she actually has a savings account. She's filing bankruptcy because she chose to, and restart a chapter in her life that would get her to where she ultimately wants to be. So that was her success story, right? Because those things, I read something really powerful today that it said something to the effect of, can actually like handicap you. It's like information overload can handicap you from actually taking committed action or like you actually doing the work. So allow us to understand that everybody's in a different journey. I met with a client today, he's pretty much ready to retire. There's a lot of health he has, but there's a lot of big important decisions, and he's not at his best physical health-wise being, that he's not at his best. And so it's important that the reason why I share success stories is because the sooner you use your success story, whatever that looks like, the sooner you can get, or I'm sorry, the sooner you can get to the destination. And along the way, the journey doesn't have to be super painful. Yeah. Right? Like sometimes I think we make it more painful than what it really is. Mm-hmm. So again, also, what else? Let's talk a little bit about Kathy, because it's not about me today. It's about her. So a little bit about Kathy. I've known Kathy for about 5 years. We connected through the nonprofit Amigas for My Soul. So if you guys happen to know who they are, we connected. She used to attend the sister circles, and we just connected, and we just really felt this connection. Along the way, we became friends because she was a complete stranger to me. Yeah. Along the way, we became friends, and she has supported every single thing that I've been part of, that I've created, each other. And she's been to the boot camp. She's came in to see me. There's been so much, trusted me to help her and support me as much as I possibly can with my knowledge, right? And so because of that, along the way, she became my bridesmaid, which was really cool. And that was exciting. Yes. And so from a nonprofit gathering to a now, she's in my home. She's amazing. But not only as a friend, again, I want to see my friends, my circle succeed. And so I'm going to do whatever I can to help them. So I want them to share a little bit about your journey. I mean, obviously we met 5 years ago, and you were not in the mental space that you are now. No. Right? But the biggest takeaways that I want people on the other side of all of these Instagram and all that good stuff and Facebook is tell them about like mental financial struggles that you had to like overcome little by little, and you're still overcoming. Oh, right? Yeah, we're not perfect, and we don't have it all figured out. I wish, but yeah. So tell them a little bit about that.
What's a constant, I think, just learning and awareness, right? When I came across Eva years ago, that was one of the things for me where I was always good at saving. Like I always had money, like that wasn't an issue, if you will, right? But taking a look deeper into maybe why, like the reasons why I maybe wasn't thinking big enough, or just like being prepared for what if something happens tomorrow and I can't work, or even with my parents, right? I think that was and is still a huge thing of kind of like taking care of them and making sure that if something were to happen, that I would be okay, right? Because ultimately it's like me and my sister that would have to kind of like take responsibility to do. I mean, my parents are amazing, of course, right? And they do the best they can with what they know. However, I think it kind of came down to that of, well, what's gonna, like, they don't have a savings plan like I have, in the sense of like 401k and things like that. Realistically, for me, I think that was huge of like, what am I gonna do? Like, it's like I'm gonna be in debt, like to be able to kind of cover things like that. And then also like, where's my money? Like, I know I have money. And just like taking a deeper look, right? And like being accountable to everything.
And one thing that she shared is she falls into the generation where, because it's her and her sister, that, you know, her parents, again, we all have that parent story, that they didn't know any better, so they didn't do any better. It's not that they did something wrong. I'm sure if they would have known, they would have done something about it. But she falls into the generation where she gets to support her parents, and she also gets to in your family. And it's supporting parents, but also supporting herself, and in the future, you know, potentially supporting a family. Thank you for the love, buddy. And so because of that, how many should just put on there, like put a little emoji with the hand up.
2 hands.
2 hands. Yeah, because, you know, that's something that she actually didn't think about before.
Right.
How old are you, if you don't mind sharing?
I'm 33.
So she's 33, and so I think these decisions were made like maybe in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
About 3 years. Yeah. Come here, Marley. So in the last 3 years, she really got to sit down and say, yes, what if something happened to my mom? What would I do? What would my sister need to do? And so it was a huge reality check, I think. And also not just for her and for her sister, but also for parents.
Yeah.
I remember huge. That? Oh my God, I still remember. And
it took me a few times to get my dad in.
Yeah, because there was a lot of resistance around what if you're gone, sir? What are your daughters going to do?
And he was like, oh, you'll be fine. I'm like, I know I will be, but
you're like, I'll be fine, but you probably won't.
Right. So it did take a couple tries, right? And I think along the process of just anything, if you're doing the work yourself, then they kind of like other people kind of catch on. And no, that was like huge for me of like letting my parents know my concerns, right? Of like, hey, realistically, I love you guys, right? I don't want you to like think that I'm thinking like, oh, what if you're not here tomorrow? But I mean, life happens, right? Where I don't want to be in debt because of you.
Yeah, and
like in the most nicest way possible.
It's hard to say that, but look at how real she got.
Yeah.
She got herself and with her parents saying, if, but when, because we're all headed in that direction.
Right.
When you pass, what am I going to do? And if you do, what is that going to leave me with? And she said it. She's like, I didn't want to be left with this financial responsibility because it's not a burden to do something for your parents, but it's this huge financial weight that you would carry on that can potentially to pay off. So in conversation, resistance, and I think a lot of the resistance came from them not knowing. Comfortable enough to be like, oh yeah, I never really thought about that, because it's not like and be like, oh, today I'm gonna plan my funeral. Like nobody wakes up thinking that. Like you're thinking, oh my God, what am I gonna do? What's my day gonna look like? What's for dinner? That through this journey of the financial boot camp and healing, right, that you were able to heal maybe conversations that your parents would have probably never asked because maybe they didn't want to feel inadequate. I met someone this morning. This is what he said as a man. He said, I'm supposed to be the provider and I can't provide right now. I am so vulnerable that there's no way that I can share my vulnerability with my family because that makes me feel less than. And it also makes me feel not good enough. So that was the whole conversation behind the financial planning strategy around him, where we said, let's get over that hump before we can get you to your next level. I'm not a therapist, don't pretend to be, none of that. But I just needed to listen to where his come from was. And he said, I come from the generation of fear. I hold on to everything because we were first generation here. We don't know what's going to happen. To talk about, because how many of you guys are first generation? Put another little yes. And by the way, you just got Kathy is amazing. Yes, she is. I agree. Absolutely. So these are conversations that along the way, sorry guys.
We just wanted to show you something else.
That along the way we become so comfortable enough because we're like, okay, in order for that to happen, right? We got to get comfortable. So your journey, you were able to talk to your parents in, you're able to help your parents and also help yourself in that conversation. And then you were also able to help yourself, which was incredible because I remember she's like, I can't believe I'm actually putting money away. Remember that conversation?
Yeah. And
she kept, I think we found you like $700 or $600 online.
Yeah.
Unclaimed money that she had. I called her and I said, give me your full name, social security. And I just filed your claim. You had $700 of unclaimed money. She's like, what?
I'm like, score.
Yeah, like a few $100s. I don't know.
A couple months too. It was like $100.
Another $100 that she forgot she had stashed somewhere. Another $2. There's always money flowing if we allow ourselves, and also knowing that there's certain things that I think are important for you to know. about Kathy. In this transition of her doing her financial healing per se, you also did a big life change, which was a career change. And so you were at your employer for how long?
It was going to be 6 years.
So she was comfortable for 6 years. She knew her job inside and out, and she was good. She was good.
No one can do it.
And no, it was no big deal. And then she decided to get out of her comfort zone, which I think is important, because in these last 3 years, I think, is where really your transformation has happened. Career change, got her parents' life insurance and was within budget, has been able to put money away. Obviously, we're not going to share the amount because that information is personal, but she's been able to set up money. If something were to happen to her, she would not be a burden to her family. If something happened to you in any type of terminal, critical, and chronic way, she has taken the responsibility of saying, I have something that can protect me, which I think is really important. And along the way, have you maybe gotten your hair done? Because it looks fantastic, by the way.
Thank you.
She's been able to get her hair done. Do you eat out sometimes?
Yes.
Have her nails done?
Pedicures, please.
For sure. You see, so even though maybe she said no to other things, she said yes to getting these things in alignment. Right. She didn't say no to the things that we love, ladies, the hair, the nails, the eating out. She was just much more aware of what her priorities were, right? Everything just kind of started flowing.
I'm all like, wait, so I can do it all? Like, I seriously was
what do
like,
you mean?
I mean, I knew I always had like the flow, right, of like having money, because I mean, I consider myself good at it because I was always saving. But it's just like at a higher level. Realizing what's coming in, what's coming out, what the priorities are of like what I want, and it's just gonna get better from there, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's some times where I'm all like, oh, I should not have spent that much. This is not Wealthy Wednesday approved.
Right.
I think a lot of us say that once you do the boot camp, you'll know what we whole nother
topic
level.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's like really just prioritizing what's important and abiding by it, right? It's like, okay, I'm not going to do this week because I have, my priorities. And
it's a commitment. A commitment to anybody else. It's not a commitment to me. It's a commitment to yourself in keeping your own word to yourself and saying, this matters to my household, this matters to my home. And if you could start at home, meaning with yourself, then you're ultimately able to help other people. But right? Yeah. Isn't that so crazy?
It is, right? It's like the analogy of when you go on a plane, right? Like you have to breathe, help yourself breathe to be able to help others.
What is it? Put the mask on.
Yeah. And it's so simple, right? But it makes so much sense. And when with finances, I mean, how am I gonna help anybody?
Yeah.
Especially myself, right?
Yeah, and especially your parents. So she's local. She's not like Kathy came out of nowhere and we just hired her, got her, and I don't pay anybody to say anything that they don't truly mean. She's not getting paid. This is not like none of that stuff. It's sharing coming from a place of
well,
love.
Technically I'm getting paid. It's like giving back, like sharing, I think, and just my story and my examples. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that question like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. It's really just taking the time to see where you're at and acknowledging where you're at. I'm pretty sure we've all made those mistakes of just a lot, right?
Yeah.
And it's just taking that time for you to get yourself right, whatever that might look like, and finding the people, right, that you trust and that know that they have your back.
Yeah.
There's no judgment. It's really like, okay, let's see where you're at. Create a plan to get you to where you want to be. And it's all, it's an ongoing thing.
She's kept annual reviews. Some of them she hasn't, and it's not because we don't, but it's because we already know. And just being able to say, I've been committed for X amount of years, whether I have this employer, that employer. Somebody just said, by the way, just said Kathy is a real, everyone. Both you ladies are awesome. Thank you. Hey,
Thank
Victoria.
You.
Both Victoria's answered like,
I know, right?
It's so crazy. So I love sharing, or I love my community, our community, my Instagram community, right? That it's followers. Like, you don't want to follow people. It's a community ultimately to continue to bring each other's stories and share each other's stories and successes, because for her, setting these things up was a win.
Oh yeah.
A huge win.
Yeah.
Most people would be like, well, yeah, if you're in that space, great, right? Her family dynamic, this was a huge win. And from here, we could only stack it up. You see what I'm saying? So guys, to hear from someone, Kathy put, I know her because I know you know her. And let me also share something with you, the power of connection, that through knowing this, for those that don't know, she actually helps my husband out. And so, which I think is really incredible, because I know Team Remo the Realtor, she actually is part of Team Remo the Realtor. And so this, that I share this with my community, with my surroundings, because they say you're the average of the 5 people you hang out the most with. And the way I look at it, if I'm going to hang out with people that I like, I want them to be in a good place. Right?
I'm pretty awesome.
Absolutely. See, so yes, how authentic she is, how giving, how amazing she is, but in who she is, not only as a person, but that we all need help, and that you're open and willing to receive it. And it came from me, which is an honor. When I can help you, I just recently heard for these words, I'm going to say unknown. It said, you can hold on to your problems, or you can let me help you solve them. Right?
Dang.
Unknown. So just so that you guys know. So we all have some sort of problems. All right. So it's, you can hold on to your problems, or I can help you solve some of those problems. And so just think about that. When there's a resource available, that's an opportunity for you to come at peace with, oh, there is resources out there that I can ask for help and not be judged upon, right?
Totally. That's so huge. I'm like,
if you, let me just make sure. Hey, Mark, how are you? Ale, how are you? Herman, I just want to jump on here again really quick. I promised her I'd get her out of here by 7:30, and I promised her I would be done by 7:25 to make sure she eats something really quick, because she has an event to go to. So I just want to say thank you to all of you. Victoria, Rosa Sweet Tooth, I know you completed the Bootcamp Soto. You see who else is on here, Sucaritas, Monica. Honey, thank you for helping me with the lights, even though you're away. I appreciate it. Mark, it's so nice to see you on here. Erica. Adrian says, I can't wait for boot camp. Yes, absolutely. Barajas Barbershop, hello, how are you? Miss Gabs, how are you? So I get so excited about all of you that jump on here. My best friend has to constantly remind me to acknowledge all of you as you guys jump on, because literally I get so excited. And like the little kid, I'm like, yay. So I just want to thank Kathy for your time. I love you. And I know, see? I told you it. And she's like, what do I say? I'm like, authentic. Don't ever prep anybody for something when you want authenticity.
That's for sure.
And so just rawness, authenticity, who you are. Thank you for sharing your success story. I hope it helped you. And if it did, please post on here that it did. And please post on here. Maybe you fall into her story. For those that want to know more details about the financial bootcamp, hello, Noemi. The next one starts January 7th of 2020. Yes, you can actually register already. You can go ahead and place yourself on the waiting list, and you'll get a notification registration happened. We do have a limited space to 30 people right now, and it keeps it intimate enough so that January 7th. And
Eva won't let you hide, just letting you know.
No. Also, thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. So virtual vision boards. I am hosting a virtual vision board December 10th. If you want to get your ideas, because it all starts with a vision, we get to have your vision created December 10th. It's a virtual, so you can go ahead and jump on from the comfort of your own home. And then that can help you, support you with financial bootcamp in January. The virtual vision board is free. financial bootcamp, there is a fee for it. But
that is
yes, and let me just see, double check. Can we join it if we made one last month? Absolutely. If you already made a vision board, you're more than welcome to jump onto, because you might learn something different. Okay, so absolutely, yes, you can.
That actually touches on something with the financial boot camp. It really is, no matter where you think you are, of like, I'm great, I'm not, like wherever you feel you are, it's perfect. Just because it, different situations, different ways of seeing things, different ways of learning, different approaches. Yeah. Eva's great at like helping just you be aware, and she'll share amazing tools throughout the process. So I highly recommend it, especially if you've been considering like, well, like how do I how do I look at this?
We promise we don't bite unless we're hungry. Just kidding.
Bring snacks.
Yeah, bring snacks. I know, but really, thank you. And if you're in Temecula, I know it's a drive for you, so virtual thing. Will you be doing virtual boot camps in the future? Yes, they're actually closer than what you actually coming. They're coming in 2020. We already have a map for that. So yes, but we will be having the in-person January 7th. Stacy Godinez, yes, how? So how? The link, okay, so you guys can actually go into my Instagram and it'll show you, I believe, yesterday's post that allows you to register. There is a link. If not, what I'll do is I'll on my Insta story, or I think the link is in the bio. So go ahead and check the link in the bio first. If not, you can definitely send me a message through my website at evamacias.com, and I'll the link as well. You can DM me and I'll send you the link. That's not a problem. Since the vision board is December 10th from 7 to 8, we have unlimited spaces for that. The virtual bootcamp, we only have 30. And when you click the link on the you guys can actually put your name on there. So yes, and FYI, I'm giving you a little bit of a, next year is going to be a different thing, different story. So again, I highly encourage you, and I promise you when I tell people who attended the bootcamp know that we are limited to 30 people for this purge.
Yeah.
And they fill up quick, as you guys can see on the stories that I share on Tuesday. So virtual vision board, December 10th from 7 to 8. In-person financial bootcamp, January 7th. Wish to come and make an appointment with me. The holidays get really busy for me. We actually have booked some appointments for the new year already, which is crazy. You guys can go to the evamacias.com if you don't like the link in the bio on Instagram. Book an appointment and you just complete your information there and we get you on my calendar as quickly as possible. And it is a free session, by the way.
Right. So there's no excuses. There's a link, there's a bio, there's a DM, there's a website, there's everything.
There's a snail mail if you want to mail me a card or whatever. I just want to make sure that the services become accessible to you so that there's no excuse in saying I didn't know how. You have all the know-how. You're smart. Getting you to, the toughest part is getting you to walk in through my doors, because that's where the reality kicks in. So again, guys, it's $7.29. I'm probably going to give I just want to say thank you for your time. Again, if you guys have a topic, you're more than welcome to submit it. We'll have a success story number 3 coming up next Wednesday. I never post who it is because 1, I don't know who it's going to be, and I don't know who's available. And 3, it's always nice to see like, oh, yeah, I know her, right? And if you want to be one of the success stories, because I'm sure if you've already taken the boot camp, you've had your success story and say, hey, I would love to be on your Wealthy Wednesday. Remember, it's a contribution to our community. And by helping one another, it's ultimately where I think in the gift is in the giving. Like the receiving is in the giving, right? And so for that, I love you guys. Happy Wealthy Wednesday. Is there anything you want to tell them besides me feeding you?
I think just trust the process. You know, if this is calling you to, you've been thinking about it, you're like, oh, I don't know.
Scary.
I know. I mean, right? Because you just maybe don't know. It's really just finding the information and ta-da, resources.
Yes, absolutely. So
trust the process and just jump in.
Hey, so thank you guys. Have a fantastic Wealthy Wednesday. We'll see you guys. Enjoy the rest.